Hello and welcome to the Third Best Deck. This is a Magic the Gathering podcast where we talk all things Commander. I'm one of your hosts, Nehemiah, joined today by Ka.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. I've been really itching to try and play Two-Headed Giant Commander. Maybe we can figure
make
that
it
out.
happen.
I think that'd be kind of fun.
We gotta set it up.
They're kind of cool, right?
At the other end of the table, we got Lotus.
What's up, guys? Today I'm just going to be our mono green landfall player. It's definitely one of my favorite colors, and we're going to get started with that one too for today's topic.
All right, this is a part 2 of our budget staples episode. Last time we covered white, black, and blue. Today we'll be covering green, red, and colorless as its own category. But before we get into that, we got a little smoky. Ka, what do we got today?
Yeah, so last episode we talked about cards we regret buying, but there's some cards that we kind of want to get, and they're a little more expensive. And why don't you start us off, Lotus? Which card would you want?
So for me, it's part of my namesake, I guess. I'm not named off of this card, but it's Lotus Petal, 0 mana artifact. You tap it, sacrifice it, and add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. It's roughly $30. It can go up to like $700, $1,000 for like the Kaladesh crazy ones. I don't need anything like that. But I definitely think I should be running this card. It's just free value. I've got a couple of decks that synergize with artifacts, but I don't know. What do you guys think of this?
I think Lotus Petal is really good.
Yeah.
I think it's good. You can't say anything bad about it.
If you ever want to get into like cEDH with like non-proxies, you kind of need to get this card. It's like a staple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good.
Nehemiah, what about you?
So a card I actually don't own. Like my collection's pretty robust. I've been in, the game since 2013, and I don't shy away from spending money, within reason. I'm not made out of money, but I don't drink alcohol, so I've got some extra money to spend. No girlfriend either, so money goes into Magic cards. But for some reason, I keep forgetting to buy this card, and it's so expensive, but it's so good. Orcish Bowmasters. It's a 2-mana 1/1 in black. Flash. When Orcish Bowmasters enter the battlefield, or whenever an opponent draws a card, except for the first one they would draw on each of their draw steps, it deals 1 damage to any target, and then a mass orcs 1. So if you don't have an army, you make a 0/0 and put a 1/1 counter on it. If you do have one, you put another 1/1 counter on it.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the few like real good draw punishers that's not as bad as like the ones where they don't draw at all, and then you draw, and then everybody unfriends you. This is something that's annoying, but you won't get unfriended, and it's very good.
Yeah, no, I agree. You can definitely put this in a lot of decks, especially with how much card draw that we're pitching, or just the people that are playing in general. Without getting hated out of it, you're not playing. I mean, you can definitely play this in draw hate, which is draw hate. Kind of sucks to play against it in,
and you'll draw hate.
Yeah, exactly. You will draw hate too by playing those type of cards. But this one isn't that bad, and the orc is a really good upside.
Kyle, what do you got?
I have Ouroboros. It's green 2. It's a plant worm. It's a creature, not a legendary creature. That's what's important. I run this in my standard arena. I've been really playing a lot of arena. It's just on my mind. My mono green land. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X 1/1 counters on each creature you control, where X is this creature's power, and it's a 1/3. It's just gross. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if you have anything that can copy creatures, you just copy like 2 of these, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 6, maybe 7, who knows? And they just get astronomically ginormous. And yeah, it's definitely a removal check card. And I just think I got to get it. It's $35. Like, yeah, it's cool.
I got it when it was around 20. And I was like, this is going to go up.
It's so good.
Like, everybody loves
It's
1/1
so
counters.
good.
I think it's gone up like $5 since MagicCon. I think I got mine. I think I got mine for like 28 actually.
Yeah, it's gone up.
It's definitely the time to get one.
Nice. All right, let's get into our main topic here. We're going to go by color. The way we'll do this is 5 or 6-ish cards that are in the $1 to $2 range, and then a couple $4 to $5 range options. To start us off, Lotus, you want to take us through green?
Yep. So one of my favorite colors, easily, you got to be green, is going to be Clifftop Lookout. It's 2 mana and 1 green for a Frog Scout. He's a 1/2 from Bloomborough with Reach. When he enters, you reveal cards off the top of your library until you reveal a land card. You put that card on the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Ka, what do you think of this guy?
I think it's great. Bloomborough was my first set that I came into Magic on, and I really like this card. It's a 1/2 with Reach, and like those pesky flyers, at least I have something to block, and I get a land. And like, I don't know, if you have like kind of crap coming up in your deck, you can kind of just get rid of those and then get a land card, which is cool. And it's a land card, not a basic. So I don't know if you find like a Lotus Field or something like that. That's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, I love this. This is like an instant staple forever and ever. You don't have to shuffle. Like there's some effects like Wood Elves where you get to go get a forest. The benefit there is you can search up a surveil land. This isn't a guarantee in that regard, but you don't have to shuffle. You don't have to search your deck. And it's not like some options where it's like look at the top 4, look at the top 5, and if you get a land, it comes into play. You're guaranteed to get that land, I guess, unless you don't have a land in your deck. But you got other problems. You're playing Hope.
Yep.
So yeah, this is great. Pick up a bunch while they're cheap. I think this is the kind of card that in 10 years it'll be, $10.
Yeah, I could definitely see it going for a couple dollars, easily $5, and it's only 40 cents right now. So I think you could easily use this to replace a lot of the other mono green Ramrod. So pick some up. But card number 2 I've got for you guys is based off of one of my favorite Magic characters. It's going to be Kenrith's Transformation. Kenrith isn't my favorite, it's Oko, but it's an enchantment aura. With enchant creature, when this enters the battlefield, you draw a card, which is, 1 for 1, 2 mana for 1 card, pretty good. But enchanted creature is going to lose all abilities, become a green elk, and its base power and toughness is 3/3. Nehemiah, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I put this in there. There's not a ton of really excellent green removal. Usually the one you're going to find a ton of are like fight spells, but there's too many ways to get blown out where like somebody passes your creature that you're trying to target to fight somebody else's creature. It's like a super big blowout. This is a lot safer, and it's usually to shut down a creature, a commander that somebody really needs their commander's abilities to function. And the 3/3 is not like a big deal as far as like getting beat down with it. Usually they're going to ask somebody to trade it. And usually people just, I'll take the 3 so that you don't have your creature, and it's worth it in most cases. It's not as good as the white version that we talked about in the last episode where it's indestructible and it's like more of a permanent solution. But if you're in mono green, you don't get a lot of options. So I think this is pretty important to have in your cupboard for those situations.
Yeah, another commander magnet for sure. And yeah, I feel like especially in commander, like I'll take the 3 damage all day. Not a problem. I don't want to deal with your Dragon. Sorry, Jimmy. Yeah, it's great, honestly.
Yeah, I think the fact that most people are willing to just take that damage is one of my favorite parts about this card too, because it's basically deal 3 damage every time on that dude's turn, or they have to pay for their commander again, and it's just really good. Another one, and it's only at about $1.10, so pretty easy. Pick up a copy or 2.
Yep.
But for $2, we have Rishkar's Expertise. It's 4 mana, green, and a sorcery. So yeah, 6-drop sorcery, but it's going to draw you cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control, and you may cast a card mana value 5 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Kyle, what do you think of that one?
I love this card. I just put it in my Boomy Unleashed deck. It is phenomenal. It's a great card, and especially they basically get 2 cards for the price of 1 and draw cards. I think it's really good because you get to cast something for free for 5. So in theory, even if you have like I don't think you should do this, but if your highest power is only 2, in theory, you're drawing 2 cards for 1 mana and casting something for free with 5 or less, assuming that's a 5 mana card, right? So I think it's pretty good. And like in typical in like green decks, at least in my experience, like they're giant creatures. It's like I have a 12/12 trample, and it's like, oh, all right, and I'll draw 12, and then I'll cast another 10/10, like something like that. So I think it's great. Nehemiah, what do you think?
So the important part about this is the way it's worded on that first part. It says greatest power among creatures you control. So people can't really interact with this unless they have an instant way to blow up all of your creatures. So the likelihood that you get blown out with this, kind of like those fight spells I just warned about, is pretty low. It's very safe to play this as long as you've got 2 creatures with decent power. And then the important part is putting something into play. I mentioned this on the last episode, but anytime you draw cards and then don't add something to the battlefield, it freaks everybody out and they want to beat you down because you just drew a bunch of cards. But if you get to put something in play, then that can dissuade them from doing that. So I think this is for $2. You're going to put it in every single green deck and be really happy with it.
Yeah, no, and I think also the way it's worded, I'm pretty sure you like resolve it from top to bottom. So you'll
Yep.
draw those cards first, and then depending on what you draw, you get to cast one of those out for free.
Mhm.
That's one of my favorite things about this card. It's very good. But another one for you, a classic, and what I think might even be replaceable by another one of these cards, Clifftop Lookout. It's Cultivate. Arguably. But Cultivate is 2 mana and a green. It's a sorcery. You search your library for 2 basic land cards. You reveal those cards. You put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand, then shuffle. But Nehemiah, what do you think of Cultivate?
This used to be more of a staple in the past than it is now.
Mhm.
However, the floor on this is so high that it's still safe to just buy and put in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
The only cards I would say that you can play enough of and then maybe not have to play this or Kodama's Reach, which is basically the same card. So buy both. I mean, we're not going to repeat it again. But if you're doing Nature's Lore, if you're doing 3 visits, those are 2 mana options that get a single thing. Those are typically more powerful because you can go search out non-basics and get some synergy with like the surveil lands. This doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But hitting your land drop is just as important as ramping, because if you ramp and then miss a land drop on the next turn, it didn't really do much. So I think if you put this in every green deck, especially one that's splashing multiple colors, this fixes your mana in a really nice way.
Yep.
I think it's worth just buying a few of these, and for both Cultivate and Kodama's Reach.
Mm-hmm. Ka, what's your opinion on Cultivate?
I don't know. Is there really an opinion to have on it? I think it's a great card. Like, I don't know. I run a bunch of basics. My deck lands are pretty boring.
So
As of
my
now?
take, right, that I was thinking is, would you rather run Cultivate or would you rather run Clifftop Lookout if you had to pick one in a deck, right? So one's basically a blocker and one guarantees you your next drop.
Clifftop, easy.
Clifftop. Nehemiah, what about you?
If I have a way to blink the creatures, I would pick the Clifftop. If I'm doing more than 2 colors, I'd pick Cultivate, because I don't know what I'm getting off the top with that.
True.
That, you know, if I keep a 3 green land hand in a 3 color deck, I might get another forest off of that Clifftop Retreat and didn't fix my land, my colors at all.
Mhm.
So I think 3 colors and up, Cultivate.
I agree.
That's
I agree
fair.
with that.
That's
I think
fair.
if it's 1 or 2 colors, I'd rather use Clifftop over Cultivate. But yeah, 3 colors or more, Cultivate for sure. But that just goes to show it's probably going to go up in price. So pick them up.
Yep.
Another card here for us is Omen Path Journey. It's 3 mana and a green for an enchantment. When it enters, you search your library up to 5 land cards that have different names, and you exile them and shuffle. At the beginning of your end step, you choose a card at random, exiled with Omen Path Journey, and you put it on the battlefield tapped. Ka, what do you think of this card? Have you heard of it?
I've not heard of this card. I think it's really cool. I don't know. I my biggest worry with this card is if someone just destroys the enchantment and I just lose 5 lands, and that would kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, you get 1, but then again, like, I don't think people will be like targeting this unless they're destroying all of the enchantments, if that makes sense, in like a single target. So I like it. You can get like basically all the lands you need. So I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is almost as good as Open the Way, because the way that I want to cast Open the Way, which is we're going to talk about it here in a second, actually, so stay tuned. But basically, I want to ramp to the point where I can cast multiple spells in a turn and just win the game. So I want to get to like 10 mana as quick as possible. And this 4 mana investment is kind of like literally an investment where the payoff isn't huge now, but in 4 turns, I'm going to have 4 more lands that I wouldn't have had. Even if I'm not hitting my land drops, this is like so good on the ramping that it's worth it. If somebody blows it up, usually they're not going to blow it up right away, because it has to be a board state in which they're okay blowing everything up.
Yeah, that is true.
And it feels bad if they're going to do single target enchantment removal to be like, well, you already got a land off it, and then I'm going down a card to blow that up. It's like not a good proposition for somebody. So it's kind of a nice under the radar, boiling the frog sort of way to get game winning amounts of mana without freaking everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
So I would suggest just throwing this in your decks. Like your Boomy deck, for example, would want this for sure. And you can just go get basics if you're worried about losing
Secret Tunnel.
or Secret Tunnel. You don't have to go get the utility lands. Obviously, the benefit of going and getting a bunch of utility lands or bounce lands so that you are continuing to hit your land drop is so powerful. I think it's worth the risk.
That's true.
Yeah, I really like it too because even like couple this with just hitting your land drops in general, you're basically getting 2 lands per turn,
Yeah.
and yeah, you're quietly ramping your way ahead of everyone. And yeah, it's just really good. It's $1.80.
Yeah.
I know I'm definitely gonna pick up like 2 of these. I completely forgot about this card, even though it's from one of my favorite sets. But yeah, another card here for you guys is from a newer set. It's from TMNT. It is High Score. It is 2 mana and 1 green. It is enchantment. It is if one or more counters would be put on a creature you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are put on it instead. And at the beginning of your end step, draw a card if you control a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield. So it's a little card draw, little hardened scales effect. But Nehemiah, what do you think of that one?
It's not as generically good, but 1/1 counters are so prevalent that
Mhm.
you're gonna build a 1/1 counter deck eventually in your commander career.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I think it's totally safe to buy at least one, but it's not necessarily the card I'd put in every single green deck.
Yeah, not everyone, but yeah, I think a lot of +1 decks would run this. Ka?
Yeah, I think this is really good, and like I just like that it gives me like as we said the hardened scales effect and the ability to draw a card, even if that happens once and then I get the trigger twice. I think that's worth it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, it's also just easy, repeatable card draw in those types of decks. And my worry too about this card is because it's from Universes Beyond, it's probably not going to see a lot of reprints to have
Mhm.
both of these effects in one. Because I don't know how they're going to put high. I don't know. Maybe they'll put High Score in something
Another
somehow.
video game thing.
Yeah, another like video game best plane somehow. Yeah, it's only $1, so I'd recommend picking up a couple of these. But moving up in price, up to around the $4-ish, $5-ish. First card here is Open the Way. Nehemiah, I know this is one of your favorite cards, but we're going to start off with Ka on it. It is X and green for a sorcery. X can't be greater than the number of players in the game. You reveal cards off the top of your library until you reveal X land cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest at the bottom in a random order.
Yeah, I just bought a couple of these and I just throw them in the decks. You know, I really like this card. Like deck thinning is deck winning. I firmly believe that. And I like to personally pair Open the Way with like if I have like a fetch land or like I know Nehemiah don't hate me, like a Terramorphic Expanse or no Wilds. And I like to go through, like do my Open the Way cast first, get all these lands, hopefully some landfall triggers, which would be awesome, and then crack either the fetch or anything else to shuffle my deck. So then, say if I was to find like, oh dang, I really need X card, I can just pray and then get it back to the, like closer to the top than from the bottom.
Mhm.
So I know I like it. I think it's great.
Yeah, Nehemiah?
Yeah, this is like my mascot for like my card. I just think it's so powerful. If you play something like in white, Smothering Tithe, everybody knows it's a powerful card, and it's like a constant reminder. Do you pay the 2? Do you pay the 2? So they can't forget about it. But if you just cast it Open the Way, it's almost like the table's like cheering you on of like, oh, that's a great spell. Oh, good job. You know, you get some lands. Like,
Mhm.
you're not going to be mana screwed this turn. And it's like, actually, I just won the game. But you guys don't know it yet. Like, so I think it's the perfect card. In emergency, you could do X is 1 on turn 3 and still get a land drop, get some ramp in. So I think it's really important to have this in every single green deck. It's just so flexible, so powerful, and generally socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I definitely love this card, especially because, yeah, even on your next turn, if you get a bunch of fetch lands, you can just re-trigger your ETB effects off of those lands coming in. And that's something I like to do. So I definitely have a couple copies of these in some decks. But another one for you guys that has significantly dropped in price recently. It used to be around $30. It is Crop Rotation. It's a game changer, and it is a single green mana for an instant. As additional cost to cast this spell, you sacrifice a land, you search your library for any land card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle. Doesn't say tapped, but Nehemiah, what do you think?
Yeah, this is like the charm of all charms. There's so many utility lands in Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I could probably rattle off 20 strategies that can make use of crop rotation off the top of my head. It's that powerful. From glacial chasms to, that's basically a turn-over turn fog, for those of you that aren't familiar, to bounce land synergies, to bounce a modal dual face card back to your hand so that you can cast a spell in response to something.
Mm-hmm.
This can do so many things. Urborg, Cabal Coffers, you name it. You know, this is great in those landfall decks, obviously, but it at instant speed for 1 mana is like a get out of jail free card. I think this is low key maybe one of the best top 10 cards in Magic. And it's one that tricks a lot of new players because you look at it and you read it and you're just like, I don't know, I sacrificed a land and then I got a land. I'm right back where I started. You know?
Look at it like a weird terramorphic expanse. Like, okay, I paid a green to do it, whatever.
And then you learn, you know, the vast breadth of utility lands that you can do things that are game winning, game saving, phasing out a commander by getting Talon Gates of Mendara. Like, if you put the good lands in your deck, this is like my favorite card to draw because it just gives me infinite options to do all kinds of fun stuff. And you think you feel really smart when you play it and do those things.
Yeah, I like it. I literally just got my first copy with Strixhaven coming out. I pulled a couple of them and I was really sad to see. I was like, oh, awesome, $30. And I looked at it, I was like, $3. What the heck?
Yeah.
But I just put in my Boomy deck so I get my Secret Tunnel, honestly, and my Rumble Arena. I love it. Yeah, I would love my unblockable big boys. So, yeah, love crop rotation. I might think. Do you guys think with how much cheap it is, how cheap it's gotten? Do you think they'll take it off the Game Changers list?
I don't think so, just because of how useful it is. This is a card that definitely just scales with what is in your deck. Like Nehemiah is saying, with all these extra utility lands. I remember playing at MagicCon. I did the Talon Gates of Madara trick in some response to some guy trying to blow up my commander, and he was pretty impressed. He's like, oh, wow, that's actually a really good trick. I never thought of it with Talon Gates. But there's endless possibilities that you can do with this. I definitely see why it's a game changer, and it definitely flies under the radar.
I mean, Maze's End. I think I did that once.
Maze's End.
Where it's like literally you win the game, you know, like end of turn on the last person and then do that. Yeah, it's so good. As far as like budgeting your game changers, I think this actually earns its spot.
Yeah, I think it's this one and Notion Thief are the two cheapest game changers out right now. And this one, I think, definitely beats Notion Thief out.
Well, Notion Thief is just going to make everybody hate you. So
yeah,
that's the only reason you don't play it. It's very good. But
that's going to be green. Next color here is going to be red.
Nice. All right, so there's some new cards we have on here and some old cards. Let's start off with a classic. This should be in every single red deck. Blasphemous Act. It's 9 mana, but really it's 1 mana because it says this spell costs 1 colorless less to cast for each creature on the battlefield, and it deals 13 damage to each creature. Ka, what do you think of this?
Put in your deck. Like what? That's all I gotta say. Like, it's so simple. It's like, I feel like this card is one of those, like, if it's not in your deck, you're kind of trolling yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all I gotta say to that. Listen to me.
I don't think I've ever seen this card be cast for 9 because at the point you're finally at 9 mana. Yeah, it's either the game's over, there's enough creatures out already, or I don't know, you're never gonna cast it for that much. It's a 1 mana, blow everything up. Just put this in your deck.
Yeah. At most, you're going to spend 4, right? Like, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
I will say the obvious 1 mana Wrath is great, but there are synergies too, like Boros Reckoner, where when it is dealt damage, you get to deal damage to anybody else. There's a bunch of cards like that. So you can actually build around this card.
Yeah. Brash Taunter.
Yeah. So it's like the floor is like sky high and the ceiling's even higher. So, yeah. All right. Next one. Vandal Blast. Sorcery, 1 mana. Destroy target artifacts you don't control. Overload, 4 and a red. Destroy all artifacts you don't control. What do you guys think of this one?
Love it. Worst case scenario, even if you're, well, not even worst case scenario, really good scenario. 1 red, you blow up someone's Mycosynth Lattice, something that's turning everything to artifacts and just the engine of their deck, right? If you don't want to blow up everyone else's mana, maybe you feel bad for one of the guys. But if not, mid-game, 5 mana, you just get rid of all of their ramp. You know, you're doing our land ramp package to keep you ahead. And, you know, just stay ahead of them, right? It's really good. And it's pretty cheap. It's $1.80.
You play this guy?
Obviously. I feel like these two are the most obvious things that everyone should have. And I feel like they're in every precon. They're in every deck. If it's in a precon, you should have it, I think.
So I put this on there for all those reasons you guys just said. I'll tell you why not to play it sometimes.
No.
If you convince your buddies to watch our Commander podcast, and they start to like believe in our whole ramp, like non-artifact ramp package in all colors, then people start playing less artifacts. And so usually the artifacts people still play are indestructible. So I'm thinking the One Ring, indestructible. This doesn't deal with it. What's the giant golem we mentioned last time?
Blightsteel Colossus.
Blightsteel Colossus doesn't deal with that. So this is a metagame call, if people are actually subscribing to my philosophy in only using indestructible artifacts or only ones that have really high upside or synergy that are worth it, then this suddenly becomes like a wasted card slot in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So that's my only like hesitation. For the generic person watching this, if you're starting Commander or you're playing with friends that are also playing precons, play this. It's going to be awesome. It's going to overperform.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
All right, next card. Faithless Looting. This is 3 cards in a row where you're basically just spending 1 red mana.
Yeah, like
Throw 'em.
All right, so what this does, it says draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards for 1 red mana. It's a sorcery. And then it also has flashback for 2 and a red to do it again if it's in your graveyard. Key thing to note about this before I pass on to your guys' thoughts, this is not rummage. This is regular looting
Mm-hmm.
where you get to draw first and then discard.
Yep.
You guys have any other thoughts on this or why it's good?
no, I think you kind of hit like every nail on the head right there.
Yeah.
Like,
I also think
it's
this
great.
is like as power crept as it gets for this card. It's like the only one that does this in red. I think if it originally wasn't printed with flashback, the only way it could get better was to be printed with flashback, and it's got it.
Yeah, I just built a deck, the Beamtown Bullies, where you specifically want to have a lot of ways to loot or rummage.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to put an Isochron Scepter, which is an artifact for 2 mana. This is an artifact I play because the upside is so high, where you can exile an instant that's 2 mana or less. Has to be an instant, and then you can pay 2 mana, tap it, and cast a spell again. And so I was looking at like instant speed cards that do this. They were literally all rummage effects. There are some instant effects that are draw and then discard, but they're like 3 mana or more.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point about being unique, this is pretty unique. Even though it is a sorcery, it's totally worth playing. Just can't put it in an Isochron deck, I found.
Yeah. But still, really good.
It's still really good.
Here's another suggestion. We've got, I'll read this off. This is something that most people aren't going to know about or care about, but it is a staple, and you should be playing this. Pinnacle Monk. It's a 5 mana 2/2. This sounds pretty bad, but let me sell you on it. It's got prowess, so whenever you're casting on creature spell, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And then it says, when a Pinnacle Monk enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, that's still not worth it. What if I told you it had 2 different sides to the card? You could flip it around and have a land untapped if you're willing to pay 3 mana.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, really good. I love all the MDFC cards, and this one is basically another version of a card that we're going to talk about here in a moment, and a very popular effect of being able to return cards to your hand. I don't know if I would put this in every deck, but I think it can go in every deck easily.
It's a land.
Yeah, it's because it's a land, right? If it wasn't that, I think I would be a lot more hesitant on it. But being able to use it for that, like, modal dual face effect, it's really good.
Have you ever used this card?
No. I flat out no.
Have I sold you on it?
No.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
Instead of a mountain, here's the thing that could get your Blasphemous Act back, and you can cast it for 1 mana.
Yeah, but it's like I have a million basic mountains, and then this is $1.25. So I'm like, I'll most likely play the land, But honestly, the prowess is nice. In my mono red deck, honestly, this would actually be pretty good because I'll get my sorceries back. So honestly, for some decks, I think this would be really good. I wouldn't say like every red deck should have this, but
What's the downside of playing it? Aside from the $1.25.
For me, it's that it's 5 mana.
it's the 5 mana.
And I know that there's other effects that do the same thing of the front side for less mana, but obviously those cards end up being a little more pricey. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Oh, man. I'm
I
gonna
do
work
run
on
this
him,
in another
guys. I'm
deck.
gonna
I do
work
run
on
it
him
another deck.
because even if you draw this 100 times and you only cast the monk 5 times, that is still worth it.
But the land enters tapped, and I have to
No,
pay
no,
3 life.
untapped.
If I pay 3 life,
That's fine. You got 40 life, bro.
yeah, I know.
You're
but
fine.
like,
You're fine. And you usually what's going to happen is I'm going to play it turn 1 tapped, and then I'm going to bounce land later, and I'm going to cast this. My it's more than 5% of the time because of bounce lands.
yeah,
Because I get to return it to my hand. So I'll have to work
That's
on
fair.
those guys. Trust me on this. If you guys buy this or use it and like it, I need my ego to be stroked. So tell me about it in the comments. All right, next card. Curse of Opulence. This is a 1-mana enchantment. It's Aura Curse, which is fun. It says enchant player. Whenever enchanted player is attacked, doesn't matter by who, create a gold token, which is basically a treasure token before treasure tokens. Each opponent attacking that player does the same. So if I enchant Lotus and Ka attacks Lotus,
I'm running your pockets. Kid.
Ka gets a gold and I get a gold. Ka wants to attack Lotus because he gets a gold,
I do.
right? It happens all the time. So this is just like free mana. Like you have no idea. It's
And mind
so
control.
good.
And mind control.
Yes, yes.
I love this card. I think this card's sick. I just honestly haven't gone around to getting it. It's definitely on my radar of things I want to get. I just think it's really funny. I think I want to put it in my Iroh deck and just give it to people.
Oh, yeah,
so you can
sure.
run people's pockets.
Yeah, but my favorite thing about this too is also like the politics that it adds to the game. Of like, hey, swing that guy. You know, he's a problem, and you get money for it. You know, you're getting enabled into doing that, and then obviously you're just reaping the rewards of them running their pockets. But I don't know. There's no downsides really. It's 1 mana.
Yeah.
It's $1.80,
So
but
good.
that's like the
So
dollar of a. I don't know. It's less than a cheeseburger these days.
It's like tomatoes and mayonnaise cost less or cost more.
For real.
All right, next one. This is more of not a widely regarded staple, but I think it's good to have at least 1 copy for most of your red builds. It's called Return the Favor. This is a weird kind of mana cost, but it's red instant, and then it has the spree mechanic. So for an additional colorless, you can. It's kind of like a charm, but you could tack on all of the options if you pay that spree cost of 1 colorless. So your 2 options are copy target instant spell or sorcery spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. So if somebody has something that falls in any of those categories, you just get to copy it and do it as well. Then the next spree option is change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. So if you have 4 mana up, you can copy what somebody's doing, and if it's a targeted spell, change the target to either somebody else's creature that's dying or you that's drawing a bunch of cards and get double the effect.
Yep.
So first off, I want to know, have you guys ever played this card before?
Nope.
I did. I love this card.
Okay,
I mean,
tell me your experience, Lotus.
This is basically red versions of Narset's Reversal, but it's also flexible. You can steal land drops off of people sacrificing things. People can do Planeswalker's abilities that are really good, and you can steal those, copy them, redirect them as well.
We should explain the land thing. So if somebody has a fetch land and they activate that, that's an activated ability that you could do with that first one that you can copy.
And it's basically like, if you just use it even for just that, it's Red's version of Kodama's Reach, right? You get to go and get a land. And I don't know, you can change counter spells. It gets really fun to mess with the stack in this. If you have like 5 or 6 or 7 spells in the stack, you get to, remove something, copy something, redirect something, and just cause chaos. But the flexibility of it, I love it. And it's 40 cents. I have like 6 of these.
I have a genuine question.
Yeah.
Because I have my mono red Zada deck. Shout out the Goblin Secret Lair that no one got.
Real.
Besides scalpers. Anyway, I could copy Zada's ability on all my creatures so I can get it twice. But then could I change the target of one of the copying spells to Zada again to copy it again? To target Zada.
So if it's already targeting Zaga,
Well, because it makes a copy for each creature on my battlefield. So if I
The thing is, though, when you cast this, those copies don't exist yet for you to change those copies as targets.
yeah.
Okay.
But if you had, I don't know, 2 of these somehow, or like another effect similar to this, then yeah, you could change those copied
Gotcha.
spells to copy to target Zada again.
Now, if somebody
Gotcha.
else is playing a spell to buff their creature, you can change that to Zada, and then that gets
Hold.
to be copied.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I want to get this card. This card's really cool.
Yeah.
And for what, 40 cents?
Yeah.
Like, brother.
Yeah.
Say less.
Yeah. Four mana, but in a pinch 3 mana, it's still going to get you a lot of usefulness out of it. All right, we're shifting gears to $5 cards.
Mhm.
First one is a newer card from the Strixhaven set that just came out, Secrets of Strixhaven. First one's called Flashback, which annoyingly does not have the mechanic called Flashback. That's my only complaint. But 1 red mana theme with a lot of these cards. Instant. Target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. Those of you that don't know, this is basically the text of the
Very Mastermind.
No, it's a blue creature 2/1 flash. Why am I blanking on the name?
Oh, not Fairy Mastermind.
Why can I not think of it?
I'm just here, guys.
Yes, sorry. Okay, so
it does the same thing on a two mana like flash flying
Oh
fairy.
gosh, why?
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Why
card.
am I having a brain fart right now?
Mhm.
Jeez. Anyway, usually that card, it was a dominant card in Modern. But this is just a sort instant that does the same thing for 1 less mana. So in some situations, it could just be better. I think it's a $5 card now. I think the price is going to go up for a couple reasons.
It's $7 right now at the time of recording.
Okay.
Yeah, we put
It's
these
a
cards
rare-
in like
I called
3
it.
days
I
ago,
literally
too.
put in brackets in our show notes. I think this will go way up over time.
Yeah, so,
So I'm already feeling good about that, even though I can't remember the name of that card. It's gonna come to me, I swear.
you say it randomly in the show, and then there we go.
Yes. Okay, so have you guys considered this card? Have you put this card in a deck? Did you open any? What do you think of this?
Didn't open any. I think it's really cool, especially in like mono red, like as we've kind of seen that a lot of these cards have 1 mana cost. You
Mhm.
know, imagine flashbacking a Blasphemous Act. That'd be pretty cool. Or this Return the Favor. That's how I get a second one
Yeah,
right
you
there. I don't know. I think there's a lot of really cool cards that you can have like fun interactions with. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, no, I pulled one of these. I want to buy like 5 more, especially because it's gone up in price. This card is really good, and I figured it out. Right, I found it. It's Snapcaster.
Thank
Mage.
you.
That's the guy,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
He's a
yes.
human wizard with
Goodness.
flash, and he does the same effect. But the only reason that people play that card right is for that flashback effect, and because this does it for 1 mana less. It is in red, so obviously it matters about which decks you're playing. But it's the same thing for cheaper. It's really good. I think this should go in probably every deck. I know I'm gonna put it in a lot of decks. I'm probably gonna order it while we're recording.
This should definitely go in your Zada deck.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, buy
All
me
right.
one.
Our
Lotus.
next
I won't pay you for
$5 card is Professional Facebreaker. This is a 3 mana 2/3 creature with menace. And it says, when 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Then has a separate ability, sacrifice a treasure, so you could do this multiple times without having to tap it. Exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Lotus, have you played this card before?
Yeah, I play this in quite a few decks just because it rewards you for basically playing the game. Eventually, you're gonna want to hit your opponents on, obviously, unless you're like spell slinging of some sort. But a lot of people, at the very least, will do combat damage a couple of times in the game. You'll get some mana back easily to pay back for Professional Facebreaker. And even if you're not going for a treasure synergy, you can use the treasures you generate to do impulse card draws, which is really good. But I played it in a treasure deck, so it just turns my treasures that I'm already making into more cards to cast.
Have you played this before?
I have. I think it's really good. The impulse drawing is honestly probably one of the best things, especially in red, being able to do that. So I think this is a definite must include. It's $5, but that's Abe Lincoln will be proud being spent on this. So I think you just make Abe proud and get a Facebreaker.
Yeah, we talked about black kind of being all built around sacrifice in many, many different strategies. I think treasures have become the main identity mechanic of red.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I think this will just be included in a lot of decks because there's so much of it in red. So should be a good, safe $5 to spend. All right. Last color is lacking color. Colorless. Ka, walk us through these for us.
Yeah, so the first one we're going to look at is Wayfarer's Bauble, 1 mana, artifact. Most of these are probably artifacts. That would be my hunch. Pay
Nope,
2 mana.
Two non-artifacts, right?
Well, I'm going to cry. Pay 2 mana, tap it, sack this artifact, search your library for a basic land card, put that card onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. What do you guys think about this?
I like it.
That's good.
You know,
glad you
throw
like
it in any deck. It's it's green ramp in non-green, right? It's in all colors. It's no colors. In colorless, right? You just get a basic, worst, best case scenario, good case scenario, I guess. Turn 1, play this. Turn 2, crack it. Don't miss your land drops. You're at 3 mana. Turn 2, and then just keep ramping from there.
If you counted up the number of commander decks you're going to build over the next 10 years that don't have green in them, that's how many of these you should buy.
0. I'm
30,
kidding.
40. For me, about 20,000.
Yeah, and it's only 30 cents. You can easily
Literally 30
spend
cents.
$1, get 3 of these at least. You're gonna use them.
Or you can get a Magicon promo.
True.
Those ones are pretty cool
With loot.
with loot on it.
Ugh.
So get it. Get a Wayfarer's Bauble, guys.
Get 3.
Get 4. Yeah, so let's go to the next card. For 4 mana, it's a Solemn Simulacrum, artifact, keyword, creature, golem.
For the golem deck.
For the golem deck.
Oh yeah.
When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tapped, and then shuffle. He's a 2/2, and when he dies, you may draw a card. So, Nehemiah, what do you think of this
The
sad robot?
perfect little speed bump, right?
Yep.
You add something to the board so people don't just beat you down with 1/1s that get some kind of effect off of you, or a Ragavan or something like that. But you're ramping in any color. Again, count how many decks you're going to build over the next 10 years that don't have green in them. That's how many of these you should buy.
33 cents. Gotta get it.
Yep. I got nothing else to add.
Yeah.
It's good.
It
gives you lands.
self-explanatory.
It's a little blocker. You want to block with it. It's free.
You can blink it.
You can blink it.
Yep. You can sack it in your aristocrat strategy. I love so much.
Make cost sad.
Yep. Next one is Collector's Vault for 2 mana. It's an artifact. 2 and tap. Draw a card, then discard a card. Discard a card.
I'm going to call discard disdraw now. I think that's great.
Hey,
Undraw.
It's a new mechanic. Thanks Wizards for leaking that on the show. So you discard a card and then you create a treasure token. Can we just move on? Let's go to the next one.
He's
It's $1.
embarrassed.
It's
He's
$1.
embarrassed.
I know.
Would
I like it.
Would you like to untake that take?
No.
Or discard the take?
We're leaving it in. Distraught it.
Yeah, no, good. It's $1. I feel like if I had to choose though between one of these or 3 of the other 2 cards, I think easily I'd have to go with like 3 Wayfarer's Baubles or 3 Solemn Simulacrums.
Oh, sure. Yeah, this isn't so stapley, but I wanted to put it on the list because I think this card is way better than it looks on the surface, because you pay 2 mana to activate it, but you immediately get a treasure. So really you can think about this just costing 1.
Yeah.
And that's without factoring in all the synergies for treasures, right?
Use it for your professional phase breaker. Get those impulse draws.
Yeah. And then being able to draw and discard like that smooths out your game plan. It's kind of like the blue card we talked about in the last episode. The what is it called? It is the Search for Azcanta, where you play something, it gives you a way to kind of ramp in an unconventional way, but also filter the cards. And those kind of effects aren't super exciting to put into a deck, but it's the difference between you winning and losing more games than you realize. So if you put it in your deck, you'll be surprised at how good it is.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. I feel like we've talked about this card a million times. It's Thematic Compass, 2 mana, also an artifact. 3 and tap, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 7 or more lands, transform Thematic Compass, and Thematic Compass turns into Spires of
Oraska.
Yep, that word. Tap, it's a land. tap add 1 colorless, and then it has another ability, tap untap target attacking creature and an opponent control is removed from combat. So that's like a Maze of Ith, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
That's what that card is. And do you guys know how much that card is by chance?
Let's find out. Maze of Ith is it's about $10,
So there you go. On a stick, you got it.
but Maze of Ith doesn't tap for mana.
Ooh, so it's better.
Yep.
And it's $2.
Yep. Draws
So-
you some cards, ramps you in any color. Really good.
Really good.
Very good.
Anything to add?
I wish there were cooler arts for it.
Ooh, that's a good one. How about you?
I like used this card a bunch and then forgot about it, and then remembered and started putting it back in my decks. And I've never been disappointed having it in my deck when I draw it.
Mhm.
Every single time I draw, I'm like, oh, thank God I drew this. Because
Yeah.
if it's a late game draw, it's just 2 mana ramp with Maze of Ith, which is worth it. And if I draw early, then it's like, oh, thank God I'm going to hit all my land drops.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's good no matter what.
Yeah. Awesome. It is a great card. That's why we're talking about it so much. So many episodes.
Sorry.
$2.
Sorry.
$2. Yeah, next one is Skyclave Relic, 3 mana, artifact with kicker 3, indestructible. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create 2 tapped tokens that are copies of Skyclave Relic, and it taps to add 1 mana of any color. So this is basically a 1 mana more expensive arcane signet with the ability to have 3 arcane signets for the price of 3 arcane signets.
And
They're indestructible.
they're indestructible.
They don't die.
Yup.
And I can read this one.
This goes exactly back to the thing we were saying about Vandal Blast, right? You know, things that are resistant to being removed, that you're going to have, you know, indestructible arcane signets, which is honestly just a really good effect. Yeah, very good. Early game draw, like you said, right? 1 more mana for an arcane signet. Nothing terrible. It's going to stay there the whole game. Mid game draw, you get half your mana back for it. And you can fix your colors if for some reason you still need to fix your colors at the mid game. Really good.
Do you guys have this in any decks yet? Have you bought them after I tried to convince you in our other episodes?
No, and no.
I have this from before in some old deck I made online. It was all about like copying, cloning like a million token artifacts. It was really weird. I don't even remember what it was. I deleted it. But yeah, I don't run it as much as I should, I guess.
Agreed.
But I think I could buy a
Alright.
copy for $1.30.
I want to see it in your decks, boys.
Next card. I think this one's self-explanatory. It's Soul Ring, 1 mana. It taps for 2 colorless mana. It's $1.60 for the cheap, like one of the cheaper printings. You can get really fancy ones for like $1,000. But you can just get the normal one. It's so good. It pays for itself on literally the first activation.
Yeah.
So, and it makes you a threat. It's the instant threat on the board.
Yeah, if
You
you
have
get
a Soul
turn
Ring.
1 Soul Ring, you got to lose first.
Yeah,
That's just the
true.
rule.
I agree. I agree with that rule.
I only have 2 things to say. Number one is if it's in your opening hand and you don't actively have stuff to chain together in your hands to put yourself in an unlosable position, don't play it. Don't play it until turn 3. That's my advice. It's hard to do because you're so excited you drew it and it's in your opening hand.
Mm.
I think you will win more games if you just wait until turn 3 and then play it.
Yeah,
That's
because then
fair.
you're not going to get targeted. Because like
Yep.
I said, if you play turn Soul 1 Soul Ring,
Even
get
if
'em
it
out.
gets taken care of, people want to spite you
Yeah.
and kill you.
It's
Just
like, well, he had
because
the
you
turn
did
1
have it.
Soul Ring.
Yeah.
so-
I've seen really funny spite plays of people countering turn 1 Soul Rings just because it's turn 1 Soul Ring.
Yep.
You see people playing Pact of Negation and lose the game. And then it honestly messes up that person's whole hand because they were really relying on it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Turn 1 Soul Ring, goated play. Turn 2 Soul Ring, just as good. Turn 3, not bad at all.
Turn 3 is the Giga Brain move. I'm telling you. Last thing I would say is that even though this is going to get blown up at some point, you get to use it and it's still worth it. And the upside is so high that we're still saying, even though this is going to get blown up at some point, it's fun.
Yeah.
My thing too is buy like 10 of these. Or if not, print them, draw them on a card. No one cares. It's Soul Ring, bro.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely either, buy the real ones or literally,
Oh,
Print
I have
it.
a question too. Do you guys have any decks without Soul Ring?
yes, I do.
Okay. What's the deck?
Maybe one.
The reason is because I just haven't bought it yet, and I'm just too lazy to go online and print it
There you go.
out.
Print it out. Draw it on a
Um,
note card.
Yeah, I'm too lazy, honestly. So, but yeah, I do have some decks without it. I don't know. I feel like in decks with a heavy devotion mana costs, like obviously Soul Ring is still really good, but like it's not as important, if that makes sense. Because one of the 99, right? Like statistically, like you're rarely gonna see it. So I feel like if I have a lot more like colored pips, I'd rather almost put like a talisman in it instead.
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
don't know.
I like it.
You agree with that take?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. It wasn't that hot takey. Thank God. I was so worried. Next card is All Is Dust. It's a tribal sorcery for 7 mana. Eldrazi. Love Eldrazi's. Each player sacrifices all permanents they control that are 1 or more colors. Gross. Especially for a colorless deck. Nehemiah, what do you have to say about this guy?
I think this is super duper duper important to have in your collection. The colors that have the hardest time with like playing good board wipes is like blue and green. And a lot of times, even the things they do have some weird downside to play. This is pretty safe to just be sure that you're going to get rid of the things that you really care about. Even getting around indestructible because they're sacrificing it. So because it can go in any deck and it's so easy to cast, it just ticks a box that you need to have in your library of cards to put in a deck. So honestly, if you could swing it, I might even buy a few of these because it's so generically good and can go into any deck. That sacrifice clause is way better than you think. And then there's ways you could build around it. If you're specifically playing either colorless spells is a main theme of yours, or if you're playing like Devoid, which are colored spells, but their mechanic says they're colorless, this gets even better. So yeah, you should just
wipes.
have at least one of these, if not buy a few, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was saying, and it's literally $4.50.
Yeah. I
Like,
think the
goated.
only kind of downside about it is that it is 7 mana. But for an effect like this strong that gets around all these extra, like, you know, indestructible and things like that, I think it's really good.
Hey, for that giant wizard and the blue that we talked about last episode, it's 6 mana,
Yeah,
not
6 mana.
7.
Running both with Archmage, you get some cards off of it too. Yeah,
Exactly.
especially if you're building around this, there's a lot of good ways to make it cheaper, get more benefit out of it. It's a good card.
Great card. Next card, another one we have probably beaten our listeners over the head with, is Surveyor's Scope. 2 mana, artifact, tap, exile, Surveyor's Scope, search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number of players who control at least 2 more lands than you. Put those cards on the battlefield, not tapped, then shuffle your library. Lotus, I'll start here with you.
Yeah, I think this is a really good card. I have one of these in a mono blue deck I'm running just because it's so hard to ramp in that color too, right? It's reasons why it was a part of that episode too. Yeah, this card's really good. For $5, you know, it hasn't been reprinted in a while. I think it just got a reprint in Final Fantasy. I'm not sure, but
It
I
used
hope
to be 8.
Yeah, I hope we get more reprints of this because I think it's a really good card. I think more people should just generically run it, especially for a card that's, you know, written like this. I think it's so good for a format like Commander where it cares about, you know, the number of opponents that are doing something, right? It's just fun. But Nehemiah?
I expect to see this in more of your guys' decks.
Yeah.
Every
No,
time,
it is.
Every time you don't play it, every game where it doesn't show up, a little part of my soul just chips away and gets smaller.
It hasn't been reprinted recently.
Oh, I think I'm thinking of Explorer's Scope was in Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
not
it's
Surveyors.
Commander Anthology and Commander 2013 is when it got printed.
Yikes.
That's it. I don't know.
Click the view all prints.
I did. I almost
Yeah,
Cryfall.
that's
There's
it.
only 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we get another reprint of this. I think it's really very good just in Commander in general.
Yeah,
I'm going to call Gavin, have him print the next set.
Oh, okay.
I'll call Gavin, yeah.
Got him on
We're
speed
best
dial.
friends. Yeah, we're not. He does not know who I am.
I would pay $40 for each of these. I would still buy them and put them in every non-greed deck. That's how important it is.
Guys, there's a new business that just came out. If you buy Surveyor Scopes, Nehemiah will buy them off you for $40. That's $35 profit, okay? And I'm talking about real profit here.
Don't ask me how much I would pay for a Chipotle burrito. Okay? I'm going to be poor real quick.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's Surveyor Scope. We all love it here. It's a great card.
No, I love it. You're a
it's
hypocrite.
it's in my decks. It's in my decks. I got converted.
Okay. All right.
I got
All right.
converted.
You're just not drawing it.
Only reason I'm slightly against it is because it only gets basics, which is still really good. I just find that I run like maybe 2 basics of each color, but obviously like if you get this early on in the game, you're gonna get those basics out. But then it kind of makes some of your other cards redundant, but that's not the worst thing.
But not the same. You can get like a mountain, a plains, and a swamp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to get all swamps or all plains.
Oh, I know.
That's what makes it good. I'm just saying. It's good.
No, it's good. I definitely need more of these.
All right. Next card and last card is Eldritch Immunity. It's 1 colorless instant Eldrazi. Kindred instant Eldrazi. Target creature you control gains protection from each color until end of turn with Overload, 4 colorless. Well, 4 and a colorless. Great card. I think that, and also for those who don't know, Overload is for each, so it makes every creature you have for 5 mana get protection from everything.
Mhm.
So, Nehemiah, what do you think about this guy?
Just to make sure it's clear for those that are listening, it's a diamond in the cost for both the Overload and the single. So you have to have a colorless mana source to be able to cast this. So this isn't something that you get to put in any deck. You have to have a lot of ways to get that. Waste, obviously, but the more common thing are just utility lands. If you have enough of those, you could put this in a random deck. The pain lands are the most common ones where it just comes into play untapped and it can tap for colorless, or you could pay a life and get one of the 2 colors that it actually makes. So if I'm playing a lot of those, this can be kind of a free roll. So you might be able to surprise some of your friends if you have this in a non-Eldrazi deck and you have enough colorless sources. Just buy one of these. Don't buy a bunch.
Yeah, no, very good. It's one of those like mini like fog type of effects that we like to say you could just have like maybe a one-off in your deck just to surprise people and be like, hey, check it out. All of my creatures are gonna take no damage. Or if someone plays a Blasphemous Act, you can spend the 1 colorless to protect your commander, your most important creature aside from your commander, or all your creatures, right, with the 5. Very flexible because of that overload effect. I don't know. I kind of wish you could, I don't know, if there's like another version of this where you could target an opponent's thing. That way, if someone's playing like a Voltron effect of some sort, or like an Auras of Voltron deck, you can just remove all of those. I think that'd be just a fun card. But I do like that it's, it has the overload because it's restricted to your board.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Just like our last episode, if you've got some suggestions that you think somebody new into the hobby should really invest in, go ahead and mention those. It'd be useful if you kind of put the current price, even though that might fluctuate. I think it'll be good for historical purposes for those people who are finding our channel in real time. It'll be useful to have those prices just to help your fellow magician.
Yep.
Wizard.
Yes.
Planeswalker.
All right, cool. We'll check you in the next episode. Ka, where can we be found?
Everywhere. Even your mom's house. We're on Spotify, YouTube, everything, Apple Music, Instagram, TikTok, X, the usual stuff. You guys have any last words?
Nope.
All right.
See you guys next time.
See ya.
Adios.
See ya.